Welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be discussing the important question on vitamin K. Don't forget to click on subscribe if you want more weekly videos. So let's start with it. So let's move on with the basics of vitamin K. So vitamin K has got three important types. That is vitamin K1, K2 and K3, and it has got a respective names. Okay, so vitamin K1 is called as phylloquinone, and vitamin K2 is called as menaquinone. Okay, and vitamin K3 is called as menadione. Okay, so if you haven't remembered this name, please try to remember it as K1 as phylloquinone, then remember the brain as to put mena. Okay, so K2 will be menaquinone and K3 will be menadione. Okay, so this K1, the phylloquinone, is a plant source for P, and menaquinone, remember it as intestinal bacteria, so it is a animal source. And this menadione is very important, that it is a water soluble. It is a water soluble. This synthetic form, it is present in the synthetic form, and remember it is given 1 milligram, okay, intramuscularly to the infants or the newborn babies, okay, to prevent hemolysis. So here you will be having a chart, a case history on this to prevent the hemolysis. So we'll discuss the case history also afterwards. Now we'll be moving on with the biochemical functions of vitamin K. So the biochemical functions. First, the most important thing is it is going to assist in the blood clotting. Okay, mainly the blood clotting factors, that is 2, 7, 9 and 10. So 2, 7, 9, 10. So you remember it as any kind of form. They can ask you a Viva question. So it is going to assist in the blood clotting. So when you remember vitamin K, remember this first biochemical function, that is going to assist in the blood clotting 2, 7, 9, 10. Okay. Next, it is going to involve or to improve cell growth. It is going to improve in the cell growth. Okay, the next important thing is it is going to promote the bone calcification. So it is going to promote the bone calcification. Okay, next, it is also going to improve the episodic memory of the older adults. So it is going to improve the episodic memory of whom? Of the older adults. Okay, it is also going to improve or support the heart health. How? You can ask me how. So it is going to support the heart health. Okay, it is going to by decreasing the blood pressure. It's very important. So it is going to support the heart health by decreasing the blood pressure. Okay, it is also going to act as a coenzyme for the carboxylation of the glutamic residues. So what I am saying, it is going to act as a coenzyme, okay, act as the coenzyme for the carboxylation, of glutamic residues. So these are the biochemical functions of the vitamin K. Okay, vitamin K cycle. Okay, so here from the small intestine, the vitamin K, it is in the reduced form, that we know. Now the reduced form of vitamin K, it is called as hydroquinone. Okay, so I am writing it as hydroquinone. Okay, hydroquinone. Remember, it is not necessary to write the chemical structures. It is enough if you write the words alone. Okay, so the hydroquinone, which is the reduced form of vitamin K, this you have to write. Hydroquinone, which is the reduced form of vitamin K, that is converted into, okay, that is converted into epoxide vitamin K. Okay, so I made it as epoxide vitamin K. Now, what are the necessary things to be written here? So you need carbon dioxide, oxygen, and also need gamma carboxylase for this activity. Okay, you need gamma carboxylase, and don't forget to write the glue is converted into GLA, that is the carboxyglutamic acid. So when the hydroquinone, which is the reduced form of vitamin K, it is converted into epoxide vitamin K, you all need this factor, that is carbon dioxide, O2, and the gamma carboxylase, that is enzyme, and the glutamate is converted into carboxyglutamic acid. So I am writing the enzyme as in the green color. So you need gamma carboxylase. Okay, so you need gamma carboxylase for this activity. Now this epoxide vitamin K, it is converted into quinone. Okay, it is converted into quinone vitamin K. So what are the necessary things you need here? So you need an enzyme that is called as reductase. Okay, it is called as reductase, and also you need the reduced form of, that is the reduced lipoic acid to oxidized lipoic acid. Okay, so what I am saying, this epoxide vitamin K, it is converted into quinone vitamin K by the enzyme reductase, NADPH reductase, through the reduced lipoic acid is converted into oxidized lipoic acid. Okay, this you have to remember. Now this quinone can be converted to the reduced form of vitamin K, that is hydroquinone, okay, by the enzyme NADPH reductase. So we need reductase, okay, acting on the NADPH reductase. Okay, so now what is the significance of vitamin K cycle? Is a very important Viva question, 1 mark question, or anything else, right? So here in this step, when the epoxide vitamin K is converted into quinone vitamin K, here you are going to have inhibitors. There is 2 important competitive inhibitors. One can be called as warfarin, okay, and the another one, it is called as dicumarol. Okay, so one can be called as warfarin and dicumarol, which is the competitive inhibitors of this vitamin K. So hope you understood the idea about the vitamin K cycle. So very important 5 mark question. So when you are learning about vitamin K, you need to learn about vitamin K cycle. Okay, so now let us go on with the case discussion. For 5 seconds you will be giving the question, pause and read it. Next we will discuss on it. Okay, moving on with the case scenario. So here 25-year-old woman delivered a term female infant in her native village at her home itself. So here the infant is born in home. Okay, so the infant must not receive with the vitamin K injection. So only the infant has developed with severe bleeding from her umbilical stump. Okay, so already we have discussed the vitamin K3. Okay, that is the menadione, should be given intravenously. Okay, to all the newborn, 1 milligram should be given. If not, the infant is developed with the severe bleeding. So what could be the probable diagnosis? The vitamin K deficiency. Okay, so this is about a very simple case scenario. So after that they can ask in the biochemical functions and all as a long answer question if possible. So from this, when you are studying about vitamin K, go on with the basics, the K1, K2 and K3, know about that. Then go on with the vitamin K cycle. Okay, thoroughly you have to know about vitamin K cycle. Next, move on with the biochemical functions of vitamin K and learn about the deficiency symptoms of vitamin K to attend the case scenario properly. So this is about vitamin K. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe and like my channel or video. Thank you. Have a nice day.